2026 might already have its craziest reality TV dating show, and it's Love Overboard.
Reese.
Hosted by none other than Trader star and former Bachelorette Gabby Windy, who has so much more personality than some other recent reality TV hosts I shall not name.
Girls on one side and boys on the other, like a religious wedding. Welcome to Love Overboard.
This is one of the most extra, silly, stupid, but in a fun way, reality TV dating shows that I've seen in a while.
How's everyone feeling? So excited.
Horny!
Yeah, you pervert!
So what in the Below Deck meets Bachelor in Paradise meets Pirates of the Caribbean is going on here? Well, on this show, a whole bunch of hot singles are going to be boarding a luxury yacht looking for love, but there's a twist. Those who end up forming a couple get to live a life of luxury up on the top deck, with the ultimate goal of being named the top couple at the end of the show and winning a $100,000 trip all over the world. However, those who don't couple up are forced to work as servers for the rest of them and live in the downside.
They don't smell too good in here.
Well, I don't want to scrub floors. Like, look at what I'm wearing. Does this look like an outfit to mop in? No.
Gotta say, I love what the editors are doing here with the color effect and the strobe they added in, making it look like these people are having to live in the room from the original Saw movie, Chef's Kiss. Now at first, the way these couples match up is by either anonymously toasting to each other, or by anonymously declining the match by pouring out their champagne. And after a few couples start pairing up, most of these people are thinking, hey, this is great. A fun, flirty getaway on TV, hooking up and boating around Malta, but nope. After a bit, Gabby announces that that's it for now. Anyone not in a couple is going below deck and will have to serve the rest, leading Bella here to absolutely freak out. I mean, how could you not when you've got the dude who immediately yelled out that he was horny down here humping his bed 5 seconds in.
I hate cleaning up after people. Why would I want to pick up after people that I think I'm sexier than?
So while the rest of the downsiders get into their crew uniforms to get ready to serve the topsiders, and Bella continues to freak out to the point where she's turning into a reality TV gremlin.
I can't even clean my room. You don't clean up the dream house. You
always clean.
No, you get somebody else to do it.
It's okay.
Well, while that's happening, the upsiders are enjoying the high life. And okay, one of the major players this season is a man named David, whose type is normally, well, someone with very pronounced plastic enhancements. But now he's wanting to settle down, maybe start a family, so maybe it's time for him to change his ways.
Somebody that I feel like would be good to a future kid. And I think she does that. Like, I don't think you can breastfeed with big boobs and stuff like that. Like, I don't know.
So David matches up with Lauren here. And these two become that couple in pretty much every reality TV dating competition show that everyone agrees is a total lock. Just all in on each other from very early on. But then, as happy hour arrives, it's up to the downside singles to try and flirt and mingle with the topsiders in order to catch their attention. And this is one of the ways things can shift on the show, as Gabby is going to be watching, and whichever downsider has made the most impact on someone from the top side, well, they'll later get a text from Gabby saying you've earned a date and can choose anyone from the top to go with you. Like, for example, Horny Guy, well, he took one look at Lexi and went, Machi. And so he spent the whole day trying to convince Lexi, who's currently matched with a guy named Reese, that he is more than just a bed-humping, horny, proclaiming F-boy. And he tells Lexi that if he had the chance, he would have poured one out for every single girl on that boat until he got the opportunity to toast to her. Which actually works for Lexi because, as she states, her biggest turn-on is a man who's obsessed with her.
The kind of guys I'm into, he has to be super confident and just let me do me, but also be insanely obsessed with me.
Now at this point, once the date is done, the topsider who was selected for the date will have to choose who they want to stay with them topside. Either either their current match or this new person. So get ready for the next twist, as the person rejected here doesn't just get sent downside, they're gonna be sent down much farther than that. Yeah, you get eliminated by walking the plank, cause of course you do. But okay, the show also has challenges each day where you can compete to win someone else's match, and if you win that competition, you take that person's spot topside. However, if the person that you're now coupled up with doesn't want to be with you, they can then opt to go downside, and you can choose whoever you want to be in a couple with. So here's where some strategy is involved. Either you can be interested in someone from the top and then win to be in a couple with them, or you can try to target someone weak from the top side, swoop in there, boot them out, and then hope that the person you're now matched with doesn't want to match right back. And then bring in the person you're actually interested in. Like take Andrew here, who's just a real treat.
You want a mop? You got the first shift? I don't clean up at all back home. I don't do any chores. I don't do dishes. I have other people do that for me usually. That's so bad.
Well, Andrew is interested in a woman named Sophia from the downside, so he decides to challenge for Enna, who is on the top side right now. Enna has absolutely no interest in Andrew, but Andrew beats her match Tim, so Andrew takes his spot with Enna. However, he too has no interest in Enna, and flat out tells her not to stay up with him.
Leave it on the floor if you say yes. Just say no.
Andrew won, and he goes, "Did I win?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you got to me first, you know, like congrats." And he goes, "Don't pick me. I want to bring Sophia up."
Well, Enna is pissed, so to spite Andrew and not go downside, she decides to stay up, which Andrew is groaning over. But this is a risky move, because at the next happy hour, Sophia is all flirty with Andrew, and now she gets to take him on a date, meaning at the end of that, there's going to be a plank ceremony, and Enna is almost certainly heading down into the ocean. But wait, Sophia actually has a secret. She too has absolutely no care for Andrew and just wants to use him to get up to the top. And everyone else knows this because, well, she's not really hiding it.
Help me. That's crazy that she just said that.
I'm about to go on a date with Andrew, and I'm so excited.
So these two go on this tantric yoga date where Sophia is living her nightmare having to do all this with Andrew, plus he decided to not wear underwear to this date, so the whole time I was watching like... Anyway, Andrew is so into himself that he believes Sophia is really interested in him despite one of the worst dates ever.
Okay.
I'm not a mind reader, but I would probably say that she's interested in me for sure.
But when he gets back and Enna pleads to not be planked and tells Andrew that Sophia is faking everything, mixed with everyone else's reaction when Sophia says, "Come on, Andrew, you know I've liked you from the start."
You've known that I've liked you since the beginning. I told you that. Girl, come on now, girl.
Well, Andrew decides to plank Sophia, but this goes to show you that sometimes it's better to face the downside or the upside down and the demogorgons instead of risking being planked to spend another day up top. But okay, the absolute wildest part of the show comes back to David here, who, at that challenge where Andrew matched with Enna, got so exhausted he had to go to the hospital. Now, while this was happening, he was amazed to see that Lauren was by his side the whole time, prioritizing him over staying back on the boat with the cameras. Something that really gets him pleased with his decision to get to know someone who's not his normal type, which, again, is big fake boobs. So these two start getting really close, and get even closer at night. But there's a bit of a problem for David.
Dude, what's crazy is we've had sex a handful of times. I haven't come yet.
What?
Yeah. I can. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, apparently David's having issues with sexual intimacy with Lauren. Plus, Lauren's been not exactly the kindest when Gabby introduces new cast members joining the boat called Shipwreckers.
Hi, I'm Lauren. Nice to meet you.
5 minutes later.
Okay, staying up close. It's an acquired taste. Swear to God, she better be racist or something because...
Now, one of those shipwreckers is eventually a woman named Val, who has just about everything David has said he wants, physically at least, in a partner. So now he's going... Machi. And to make matters worse, Val challenges for David, so she's into him too. Now, Lauren ultimately wins out in this challenge, where, by the way, Bella here, she's just having a real bad time.
I used to run track, used to do hurdles. So I'm really good, I'm really fast.
5 minutes later.
Yeah, she ultimately decides to dip out because no one wants her, so she's leaving before she has to be planked. Anyway, back to David, who right now is trying his best to keep Val out of his sights, even though she pulls him aside for a chat, which gets Lauren real pressed.
You deserve it.
She flirting with you?
Why are you so concerned?
I'm literally trying to save him from things that he doesn't want to do. We are in love and getting married and with child, and you need to back up.
But even with Lauren's jealousy, the intimacy issues they're having, and the comments she made when the shipwreckers arrived, David decides he's not quitting on Lauren, he's actually going to be doubling down.
Hello, baby.
What?
You're my girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm already your girlfriend.
Which is the perfect time for Gabby to send out that date text to Val. And Val does not care that Lauren said that her and David have talked marriage and having kids. Cause Val, she keeps looking over at David and Lauren and going,
I don't see no ring on her finger.
So she decides to take David on her date. And this is where things really erupt into absolute chaos. Because these two have this massage spa date where the temptation is really getting to David. And when they head into the shower to clean off, things start to linger, and for a while.
So, how are you?
And suddenly, David doesn't know what to do, and he has a plank ceremony coming up with Val and his now girlfriend, Lauren. So they get back to the boat, and the planking is about to begin, where all the cast is now going, you know what? I kind of feel bad for Val. She's barely been here 24 hours, and she's obviously about to get dumped into the ocean. But then they look over at David, and the man is sweating. But nah, he must be hamming it up for TV, right?
Pretending like he has to make a decision. He's like,
To be quite honest, I don't know if you'd be okay with what happened.
What the is going on?
So now everyone's going, wait, what the hell happened on that date? But oh, were the winds of change blowing on that date, no pun intended. Because now David turns to Lauren and he says, you know, Lauren, I don't think you can forgive me after what I did. And she's saying, well, let's just talk about this, David. Let me off this plank and we can talk about this, and I promise you I can forgive. And he says, I don't know, Lauren, your family's gonna watch this and I don't think they're gonna forgive me. And at this point, the show reveals it's been 43 minutes he's had them standing there on the plank waiting for this decision. 43 minutes! I mean, the cheating is bad, but this is the vile cherry on the cake. And he's even got Gabby throwing up her hands like,
David, for sake.
And then finally, after 45 minutes, David makes his decision.
Don't do this to me.
Oh my god.
Oh, and the cast is shook. They all thought David and Lauren were the it couple destined to win this whole thing, and now, after one date, Lauren is dunked. Worse yet, production had to give her a life jacket cause she's not great with swimming. So most everyone is now furious with David, acting like they're at a funeral for Lauren going,
Damn it! Damn you!
Damn, David.
You dickhead!
And well, the boat is rocked. All of Lauren's friends want David's head. Oh, and speaking of those two particular words, David finally reveals exactly what happened on his date with Val.
What happened?
Fellatios and shit.
Wow, well, that sure is an interesting way of saying that. But yeah, word of the fellatios and shit gets round real quick, and David turns to this self-loathing place, which is pretty easy cause on the outside everyone is loathing him too. So production decides to give everyone a nice little break and get them off the yacht for a beach party. A beach party that includes all the exiled castaways showing up, including, yes, Lauren. Now here are the rules for this. Anyone that's in a couple at the end of this day is allowed to come back to the boat. Like if you're exiled and end up connecting with someone from the boat, you get to come back. But also, if you connect with a fellow exile, that counts as well. Which is exactly what happens with Sophia and Reese. As way back at the beginning he had yelled out, "Call me Sophia," as he got planked, so he wants to connect with her, while Sophia, she has a tendency to do whatever it takes to get some TV time. But the big moment here is the arrival of Lauren, who has a lot to say to David, but not before she gets her jab in on Val first.
I don't have a lot to say to you, but I have one thing, and you're literally as low class, like, as they come.
Okay, why do you say that?
As low class.
Why do you say that?
Because you suck on the first date.
Naturally, this upsets Val as she says, "Why are you slut-shaming me? It takes two to tango here, and, didn't you and David have sex on, like, the first night? Hello?" Then Lauren sits down with David, and she's already been told what happened, but she just wants David to admit it. But David doesn't know that all the info is out there, so he says he's trying to protect Val's privacy, and he dances around the subject. Which is not enough for Lauren, so she leaves the party and the show still upset.
He just really doesn't deserve me. She can have him. Better hope he doesn't drink tequila because his dick doesn't work when he does, so.
Anyway, it's at this point that the show starts gearing up for the finale. No more upside downside, just couples, where everyone will vote on the top 5 couples who get to stay. The rest, they get planked. And once that business is swiftly taken care of, it leaves us with 5 remaining couples who get to go on dates and meet some of their friends and family. Those couples include Lexi and James. Yes, horny guy makes it this far, and these two are now saying this.
I am in love with you, and
You're in love with me? I'm in love with you too.
What a journey from humping the bed to this moment. Then there's Tim, who was originally with Enna, but then connects with a woman named Gia, and then Jake and Christine, who were both shipwreckers and eventually connected late. Of course, we also have Val and David, and then there's also shipwrecker Delaney and country boy Keith. But these two end up breaking up after Keith meets Delaney's friend, and it's clear that his expectations for a relationship are not gelling with Delaney. He wants more of a traditional family life, and she feels like he won't meet her halfway, so it ultimately all falls apart. Which gives us a final 4, who now must vote one more couple out. And that couple ends up being James and Christine, who actually self-eliminate because they know that they connected late. Leaving us with a top 3 of horny and in love James with Lexi, this couple that haven't had sex yet, and the infamous David and Val. And to finish the season off, the whole cast come back to vote on who they think deserves to win, which is going to be revealed by, of course, planking. But this moment was definitely set up by production for maximum drama because they have them, quote, randomly selected for the first planking, and only the guys will get planked, with James heading up against David. And I mean, no way was anyone there picking David over James, but still, James gets planked and Lexi jumps in after him, which, for all we know, James and Lexi actually got the second most votes, but production just wanted to set up a final plank with Tim and David. Where here, with this group and all their hatred of David, there's no way they're letting this guy walk away with a 100K vacation.
This is it!
So there it is, the winners of Love Overboard Season 1 are Gia and Tim. And I gotta say, this show was crazy, but also fun, especially if you're looking for something filled with drama and stupidity that's not trying to pretend to be anything other than it is. So feel free to go check out the rest of the show for the rest of the dramatic details, and, well, if you don't like it... So that's it for this recap of Love Overboard. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
So how's everyone feeling?
Horny!